Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're leading a nonprofit, I've got to tell you, what we're about to cover could completely change the game for your fundraising. And no, we're not talking about little tweaks here and there. We're talking about unlocking a massive, hidden goldmine of support for your mission.
So let's just dive right in with the most important number you're going to see today. $7 trillion. And look, this isn't just some abstract giant number. This is the estimated value of non-cash assets that, right now, most nonprofits are completely missing out on. It's the key to some serious growth for your organization.
So where does a number that big even come from? Well, get this, 60% of all wealth in America is tied up in non-cash assets. We're talking stock, real estate, crypto, you name it. But here's the crazy part. Almost every nonprofit only asks for cash. You see the disconnect, right? You're basically ignoring the single biggest piece of your donor's financial pie.
Okay, so to help you grab a piece of that pie, here's our game plan. First, we're going to break down that massive $7 trillion opportunity. Then we'll get super practical and cover how to handle gifts of stock and even crypto. We'll also dive into something called donor-advised funds, or DAFs, and talk about building a legacy. And we'll wrap it all up with the most important part, a step-by-step playbook you can start using, like tomorrow.
All right, first up, the $7 trillion opportunity. Let's really dig into this because I want to show you why asking for these assets isn't just a nice idea. It's a total win-win for you and your donors that you just can't afford to ignore.
You know what's so interesting is that the biggest barrier here isn't how hard it is. It's just that most organizations don't know how to do it. Just think about that for a second. This is basically free money being left on the table. So today, we're going to fix that. And this right here, this shows the win-win perfectly. Okay, imagine a donor has $50,000 in stock that's gone up in value. If they sell it first to give you the cash, boom, they get hit with a capital gains tax. Over $6,000, just gone. That means less money for your mission. But if they donate that stock directly to you, they pay zero capital gains tax. So what's the bottom line? They get a bigger tax break and your organization gets the full $50,000. More money for you, less tax for them. It's really that simple. So now that you get the why, let's get into the how. We're going to start with two of the big ones you'll see today. Good old-fashioned stock and the new kid on the block, cryptocurrency. First things first, let's just make sure we're all on the same page. When we say appreciated stock, all that means is stock that's worth more today than when the donor first bought it. That increase in value, the profit, that's the part that gets taxed when it's sold. And donating it directly is the secret key to skipping that tax. So how do you actually do this? I know it might seem a little intimidating, but it's really just 5 simple steps. First, you and the donor agree on the gift. Second, they kick off the transfer. Third, the stock shows up in your brokerage account. Fourth, and this is important, you sell it for cash right away. And fifth, you send them a tax receipt. That's it. It's a totally repeatable process. But look, none of this matters if your donors have no idea it's even an option. You got to tell them. Put a donate stock button right on your website. Train your whole team to listen for keywords like my portfolio or my stocks in conversations. And probably the most important thing, when you're talking one-on-one with a major donor, just ask, hey, do you happen to have any appreciated stock you'd consider gifting? You've got to make the ask. Okay, you might be thinking, but what about crypto? It sounds way more complicated, right? Well, from a giving standpoint, the mechanics are almost exactly the same. The donor transfers crypto to your digital wallet, you sell it for cash immediately, and they get that same awesome capital gains tax benefit. The key here is just having that wallet set up before a donor ever asks you about it.
All right, let's move on to one of the absolute most powerful and fastest growing tools in all of fundraising, donor-advised funds. We call them DAFs. This is all about tapping into money that someone has already set aside for charity.
So what the heck is a DAF? Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like a personal charitable savings account. A donor puts money or stock into their DAF, and they get their tax deduction right then and there. Then, over time, they can recommend grants from that account to nonprofits they care about, like yours. And the sheer scale here, it is just staggering. These big DAF providers, think Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, are managing over $200 billion. Let me just say that again so it sinks in. This isn't money donors might give someday. This is money that has already been committed to charity. It's just sitting there, waiting for a great cause to support. And that is why you should care so much about DAFs. These donors aren't cold leads. They are your absolute dream donors. They've already set the money aside, they're financially savvy, and they're actively looking for direction. Your only job is to get in front of them and show them why your mission is the perfect home for their next grant.
Now, beyond the gifts you can get today, non-cash assets are also absolutely central to the long-term health of your organization. And that brings us to planned giving. This is how you plant the seeds now to make sure your future is secure and thriving for years to come.
There are a few key ways donors do this. The simplest and most common one is a bequest. That's just a gift left in a will. It costs the donor absolutely nothing today, but can leave an incredible legacy down the road. Other ways include naming your nonprofit as a beneficiary on a life insurance policy, or for some major donors, using more complex tools like charitable trusts. The point is, you have to start these conversations now.
Okay, we've gone through the what and the why. Now it's time for the most important part, the how. This is your implementation playbook. This is where we turn all this great theory into real, concrete action.
But first, let's talk about how to avoid some really common mistakes. The number one mistake? Not having the infrastructure, like a brokerage account set up before a donor makes an offer. The second is not marketing this stuff. If you don't tell people, how will they know? And finally, stop treating it like it's some exotic form of giving. You have to normalize it. This is simply how smart donors give in the most efficient way possible.
And here it is, your ultimate takeaway, the 7-step plan to make this a reality. Number 1, set up your infrastructure. 2, train your team. 3, market these options everywhere. 4, figure out who your best prospects are. 5, go ask them directly. 6, start tracking non-cash gifts as their own revenue stream. And 7, never stop educating your donors on how and why to give this way. This is your roadmap.
So I'll just leave you with this one final thought to chew on. What would really change for your organization, for your mission, for the people you serve, if you managed to capture just 20% of your major gifts in non-cash form? It's not a fantasy. It is totally achievable. That untapped wealth is out there waiting for you. Now you just have to go ask for it.